up, everybody? Welcome to the 34th episode of The Black Couch. This is also our 100th video, so welcome. And in this episode, we're going to be reviewing Man of Steel.
And as you can see, I'm very excited. I have my Superman shirt on.
Yeah! So, Man of Steel, this is going to be our review of it. And we're going to change it up a bit, because usually we start with the characters and the story. But now we're just going to change up the format. We're just going to each take turns talking about what we liked and what we didn't like. Let's first talk about what we did like.
So you're in the big chair, you go first.
I'll go first. Finally, I feel like we got a Superman movie where Superman does shit. Like, he fights people, he punches things, he doesn't just lift things like in Superman Returns. This is like leagues ahead of Superman Returns. I love the fighting in this. The action was so engaging. It was so awesome and crazy, badass. That last fight scene with Zod was amazing. And the climax was really satisfying. I feel like they ended that battle really well. The conclusion was satisfying. I didn't feel disappointed, or I didn't feel like they left out some things.
Yeah.
I also felt like the scenes when he was a kid was really engaging. You really got to know who Clark was, and you really felt like an emotional connection with Clark because of his flashbacks or his kid scenes. And what I also liked was Krypton. I feel like they really established Krypton, and it looked like a really interesting world. And it seemed like a world that I would want to see more of.
Which is the shame it gets blown up.
Yeah, which is a shame that it gets blown up. Spoiler alert, but I'm pretty sure
everyone knows that. That's the fucking Superman story.
I think Zack is really good at making these kind of worlds, like 300, Watchmen, that Owl movie.
Guardians of
he's really good at making these special effects, making these worlds, and Krypton was one of them. I really like the technology and like the design. And I know I said this before, but at first I felt like the suit was really not before I watched the movie. I felt like the suit was really, although I was on board with it. The closer I got to the release date, I still feel like it was kind of weird. But when I watched the movie, the suit fit with the Kryptonian design.
Yeah.
Like the suits, because once you got to see how everyone else dressed, it really fit, and you really understood where that suit's coming from. So yeah, and overall, I really liked that stuff. That was really good. The action, the designs, and the Kryptonian world, I felt like was great, and Clark's childhood, I think, was really established well, and the actor for the kid was really well too.
Yeah.
And overall, the acting was fine too, and it was decent. Although some parts could have been better, but I will leave that for the part where we talk about what we didn't like.
Yeah.
So yeah, Anna, how about you?
I pretty much like the same things that you did, like action, blah blah blah. But the one thing I also liked was like the connections between Clark and his parents, and with like other people, except for Lois, which I'll talk about that later.
Right.
But you could definitely feel that they were a family, but he still had that part of him that was like, oh, who are my parents? Who am I? Yeah. So I like how it was really well balanced in that sense. But yeah, that's pretty much.
The flashbacks were one of my favorite parts of the movie. It really got to understand who Clark was. Also, I'm a big music guy. I really think Hans Zimmer was he really did himself in the soundtrack. He made a new Superman theme without trashing the old one, you know? Like, he never made any cues to the old one. He made his own, and it really stood on its own during the movie, during the fight scenes, which I thought were really fantastic. They're really, intense and engaging, like you said. I also just like who Superman was. Obviously, they never mentioned Superman a lot, the name. But, what he stood for and why he does what he did. I felt like came across really, really well.
I think they really hammered in the idea of Superman being the
symbol for hope.
Yeah. Just like how Batman was a symbol for Gotham. I feel like Christopher Nolan really...
He really does symbols really well.
Yeah.
And I felt like that you could feel the Christopher Nolan inside, even though he's only producing.
Right.
Throughout the whole movie, you could tell that Christopher Nolan had his play in it.
Yeah.
So I think, overall, the movie was, lots of good stuff in it.
And what I also really liked was Superman's conflict with his identity.
Yeah.
Because, not going to spoil anything, but towards the end, he makes this decision that really tortures him.
Yeah.
Because he has to balance with the fact that his Kryptonian identity, which he was born from, but his Earth identity, which he grew up in. And it's like this conflict.
It's like nature versus nurture,
and Zod challenges him that.
Yeah.
He's like, this is who
you
your
are.
people are.
Yeah.
You're not these people. You're different. You're with me. Help me bring back our people.
Yeah.
But Clark never grew up in that area.
No, he didn't.
So he's like, no, these are my people. Whoever you are, I'm not any part of it.
Yeah.
Even though that was my heritage, this is where I grew up and this is who I am.
Yeah.
So I really like that.
Yeah, I think they did it well in the time span that they got.
Right.
But I think something like the TV show Smallville,
Right.
like where they had like 10 fucking
Yeah,
seasons.
they had a lot of
they had
time
a lot
to
of
really
time to-
develop
yeah.
his hometown and
Yeah.
his childhood and stuff
So
like
yeah,
that.
I think they translated the story like really a lot of backstory into this movie really well too.
Okay, so what we didn't like, first of all, I feel like for the first half of the movie isn't as good as the second half.
Yeah.
Once Zack comes in, the movie really starts picking up. But what I didn't really like was the pacing was really jarring.
I had this
It
problem.
was really they went by really fast, and I understand that this is an origin story. We've heard about Superman's origin so many times before.
Yeah.
I guess they didn't feel like they need to rehash that so many
Yeah.
times, so they kind of rushed it. That really hinders the movie.
Yeah.
And what we said with the flashbacks, we like the flashbacks.
Yeah.
We don't like how they put them in
Yeah.
the movie. Because like it's kind of like you said before after watching the movie. It reminded you of Batman Begins,
Yeah.
where they kept going back. But
Exactly.
the thing is, like, those flashbacks were centered towards the beginning.
Yeah.
And this one, they kind of really spread
Spread
them
them
out
out,
a bit
yeah,
and
too
kind of
much,
really was
It just
drawing
like
a bit.
cut back and forth.
Yeah. Another thing I feel like Lois Lane didn't really contribute much to the movie.
Yeah.
There was no chemistry between Henry Cavill and Amy Adams.
Yeah.
We didn't really get to know Lois that much, besides the fact that she's willing to do whatever it takes to get the story. But we already knew that from comic books and other movies.
Yeah. I mean, we already know she's
Yeah,
a real character.
but we didn't get to know who Lois was in Zack Snyder's Superman movie.
Yeah.
We didn't know where she lived, where she come from, what her likes, dislikes are. And her and Superman never really had a proper conversation.
Yeah.
And yet they share a romantic moment together, which didn't really make much sense. So overall, I feel like the characters could have been developed more, and they centered too much on Superman, which I guess because it's Superman, movie, but I feel like they could have did that a bit more. I feel like the villain was kind of, I don't know, but he did a good job, but at times he kind of played it too much, and he kind of went over the top and kind of ridiculous a bit.
Yeah.
And overall, I just feel like the first half of the movie really hurt itself.
Yeah.
Because the pacing just really, really. Yeah. How about you?
The expansion of like how he gets his powers.
Right.
Like you see him punching, laser, ramming into things.
Right. They don't really establish how he learns.
He's
his
just
powers,
like,
right?
boom, I can do it.
Yeah, like out of
okay,
nowhere.
I guess.
The second try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was kind of awkward. And the military were really stupid in this movie.
Right. They just kept going.
They just kept going, even though the bunch of guys already died at first.
Okay, so what I didn't like about the movie was exactly what you said with the pacing. Although, because most of the flashbacks were set during, like, more of the beginning, I kind of like if they had done more of that, like, to put them all in the beginning. But also, like, near the end of the movie, like, there were moments, like, the pacing got really weird, like, during the ending, too. Like, there was a, there was a battle, and then calm, battle, calm.
It was just like,
it was kind of really dispersed and unfocused.
Yeah.
Right.
I also felt like the entire movie was kind of like trying to show you all of these things like about the Superman universe, and I know how you said it was kind of trying too much to be focused on Superman. I just wish they'd done more of that. I'm going to pull opposites here, but I feel like there was too much going on to look at. There was like the storyline was like Zod's trying to doing his thing about trying to save Krypton and stuff, and I just feel like it was really unfocused and not sure what it was trying to gain. I also feel like the characters were like Lawrence Fishburne's character. Perry
he didn't
White.
really do much.
Perry White, he's supposed to be like the energy. Like in the comics, he was this huge guy, big boss of the Daily Planet, and then he was just kind of all he did during the movie was annoy Lois. I feel like, and I feel like this is going back to Lois. I also feel like the relationship with Superman is kind of like you said, kind of iffy. I feel like I had the same problem with the Amazing Spider-Man. Where Gwen and Peter
randomly get together.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, like
they don't really have chemistry.
Yeah,
why does she even like him?
Yeah, why? How did the relationship come about, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like they should have spent more time in the relationship in order to give them
I agree with that.
To give them a romantic kind of connection near the end.
Right. Okay, so going back to the part where you said they focused too much, like they didn't focus enough on Superman.
Yeah.
Like, I disagree. I feel like
they focused too much
on Superman, and I feel like they kind of forgot, like, Lois is a pretty fucking important character in the Superman universe, and they don't care, they don't really, like, establish her. They're too focused on Superman, I feel like, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I understand, like, it's an origin movie, but, like, there's prime examples of, like, origin movies that still establish every character and don't focus too much on that, on Superman.
Yeah.
Like Batman Begins. Like, Nolan gets all, like, the origin stuff out of the way, and then he focuses on Batman, like, fighting crime and stuff. And I feel like this whole movie was an origin story.
Yeah, okay.
Instead of, like, just get the origin story out of the way in the beginning, and then have him established as a superhero, establish the characters around him, and stuff like that. But I feel like this one was all Superman all the way. Forget about the other characters. We're only putting them in because they're in Superman comics, movies, and just to help us relate to those, like, see, oh yeah, that's a Superman movie because Lois Lane is there, the Daily Planet's there, stuff like that. But it's just mostly Superman.
Yeah.
And I feel like that they're probably gonna establish those characters in the sequel.
What they've already put in production.
Yeah, the sequel, and so it just feels like the whole first movie is just the origin, and then the second movie is probably gonna be the tale of superhero.
I guess what I wanted was just more, like, when I say more Superman, I mean more Clark Kent and more Lois Lane interaction.
Yeah.
Because most of the time he's just the alien.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly. Okay, I agree. Because, like, he's never Clark Kent.
Yeah.
He's, in my opinion,
like,
he's always just the alien guy from outer space.
And Lois calls him Clark in the Superman suit, which is like
kind of.
They should like have a declassification between who he was.
Right.
He was kind of just this guy the whole time.
Yeah, and Lois figures out it's Clark in the beginning.
I know that was I just thought of some other things I kind of iffy about.
Right.
When Superman gets his suit, I was just like, there's no like big.
There's no build up.
Yeah, there
it's
you
just,
go.
He's there, and I feel like that's one of the big problems. Like, they don't really build up it's Superman.
Yeah.
I feel like Zack
I think they missed a lot of the build up in this movie.
Yeah.
Because they have all of a sudden these big reveals.
Yeah.
These big battles.
And they
reveals.
make it seem like it's nothing.
Yeah. That's why like even though these fight scenes were really good, I think the Avengers fight scenes were even better.
Yeah.
Because throughout the whole movie they're building up.
Yeah, they're building, and then boom!
Yeah.
New York, gigantic
it's just
battle.
this huge chunk of battle.
Yeah,
but with Man of Steel, it's kind of battle, and then nothing.
Yeah, so it's kind of like this all the time.
Basically,
Right? It goes build up, and then we'll like, and then build, and then just goes like
there's
that.
There's never a big payoff to the build up.
Yeah, and same with the suit. Like Anna said, they didn't really build that up, and I feel like, dude, there hasn't been a Superman movie for years.
Yeah.
Like,
there hasn't been a good one. In like 20 years.
Yeah, milk that shit.
Yeah.
You know, milk that shit. No one's ever seen a Superman movie for years.
Yeah.
Fucking make it epic and stuff. And yes, it was epic, but a lot of the things they could have done better with the build-up and stuff. So,
I also thought, like, it was just like, he became Superman, Zod came. Like,
Yeah,
right
Zod
afterwards, I'm like,
yeah, they didn't really let it breathe.
Yeah.
Like, there wasn't any downtime for him to be established as Superman.
It was kind of like move fast,
move, yeah, exactly. Go.
We have to get the story across.
And then boom, end movie, done. And then they slow down. But that's the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And then they put all their shit in the first movie.
Yeah.
Like all the action, and then I feel like they're gonna put all this calm, slow down part in the next one, with probably Lex Luthor being the villain. And
I also felt some of the choices that the main characters have to make were kind of bullshit.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, so the reasons why some of these things happened could have
the
easily
reason
been
why Jor-El couldn't come with his son to
Yeah.
planet Earth was kind of stupid. The reason why Clark so special was kind of iffy. They don't really expand that
like his
much
birth,
bit.
like his birth of why he's like exactly. I felt like they could have explained more of why he's this special or why they had to make this choice and why this person didn't like. The relationship between characters were kind of not that strong.
So for me, overall, I feel like although the first half of the movie, the pacing was really jarring, really bad, too focused on Superman, which I guess kind of sounds like a really stupid statement.
But I know
given the fact that it's a Superman movie, but there are other characters too that are just as important, like his love interest, right? So I feel like they could have done that better. The build-up could have been better. But I love the action scenes. And I love the Superman character that they create. I love the Krypton world, the Kryptonian technology. I love the flashback scenes. I thought they were really emotional. So overall, I really enjoyed this movie despite those problems. I really liked it. It was leagues ahead of Superman Returns.
Yeah.
There's finally a Superman movie where he fights and the special effects are good, unlike strings on his back.
I know people are gonna make a comparison back to Superman 2 because they have such similar stories.
And yes, Superman 2 is a classic. Obviously, it was a good movie, but it's nice to see
in modern world.
Modern world and stuff like that. Everything that Superman Returns should have been. So overall, my score for this movie is an 8 out of 10. I liked it. I really liked it.
Anna? I agree with you. Like there's like pacing problems and like connection problems and all that, but like I feel like the fight scenes make up for so many things. You can't let that go.
Like that climax was perfect, and that the ending was so satisfying. Which is something I think the Iron Man movie should really
like the ending. The ending really got me. I was like, damn.
And it really plays on Clark's identity. Which I said earlier.
I really like that. So 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of good themes. I like cause I know Christopher Nolan likes themes in every one of his movies, even if he's in producing. Also, the music. I feel like the music really helped build the emotional resonance. With the flashbacks, the flashbacks were one of my favorite parts of the entire movie.
Exactly. I totally agree.
I knew who Clark was because of them. The later adult scene, not so much, but because of the kid scenes, you understand why
he's looking for his parents. Why he's because the Kevin Costner character really nailed in the idea.
I just wish there was more of the Kevin Costner
connection.
Exactly.
I agree.
I feel like Kevin Costner did a really good job with Jonathan Kent. And also, just who Superman was because of Clark's upbringing. I really feel like they really nailed down why he does what he does and why he feels like he has to do it.
I agree.
So overall, I think it's a really fun movie, even though there are pacing issues like near the end with the battles and stuff. I feel like overall the build up, my expectations were met. Not like where I don't feel disappointed after seeing the movie. So I feel like an 8 out of 10 is 8 out of 10.
Overall across the board, average score 8 out of 10. Go see the movie. I think it's really good. It didn't exceed my expectations, but it was on the line.
It met them.
It met them, and it's better than Superman Returns, and it's one of the best Superman movies
in 20 years.
In 20 years, I feel like. So that's it for a review of Man of Steel. If you guys watched the movie, please give your review down below. Tell us what you think. Do you agree or disagree with us? Just give your opinion. We'll love to read it and
requests.
Give your requests for future topics down below. This is 100th video, so that's pretty awesome. And if you guys like the video, please like it. If you like it even more, please favorite it. Like it even more, please share it. Subscribe to our channel for updated content. Subscribe to our personal channels. We have other stuff there too. And thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys later. Go watch the movie. We really recommend it. If you're a Superman fan, you're gonna like it.
It's been 20 years since you've seen it.
20 years since you see it. If you're not a Superman fan, go see it. It's a pretty fun action film. I feel like.
It's a fun time.
But if you're a hardcore Superman fan and you're really expecting something really crazy and awesome, don't expect too much. It's not that deep of a movie, but it's a fun movie either way.
It's a good launching point for the DC universe that they might do.
Exactly. So go watch the movie, guys. We'll see you guys later.